Dun 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 dun. Been a minute. Hell yeah, I love that tune, boy. Shout out to Nathan Tant for that song. We jammed with a dude named Stone Jessup. It Beckons was the band. It didn't end up, coming to fruition, but great guys, great band, good times. Nathan Tant, bad motherfucker. So yeah, here we are, episode 2. Super stoked for this. First one went really well. Got a lot of good feedback. Really pumped me up to keep it going. So I learned a lot of stuff. My software I'm using, I really can only work with about 30 minutes. So had some trouble, had to edit down a lot of the first episode. You probably noticed. I apologize. This one will be a lot smoother though. Sticking to about a 30-minute frame, and I know that kind of sucks, but the good news is now I'll be putting them out every Monday, so you can be excited for that. At least 10 of them. We'll see how it goes, but 10 straight Mondays, 30 minutes apiece. Awesome stories. I think they're pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm your host, Machete Eddy. Good to see you again. Yeah, I realize it's pretty easy to just talk my ass off for fucking an hour. I had to trim up so much stuff. There's a lot of things I wasn't able to mention on the last episode. If you missed the last episode, check it out. That way you can maybe understand what I'm talking about here a little better. But if not, you can still follow me, I'm sure. But yeah, episode 2. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. Kicking off. So I had mentioned Wasco's Camp. No, sorry. Barnyard Brutality Fest. That was it. My buddy James mentioned this, and it came back to me. James Vandenberg. So I met him in Milwaukee. I think he booked 3 shows on this little run. So that's how I met him. Still in touch. Awesome dude. He's based out of Austin now. He has a band, Whore of Bethlehem. Whore of Bethlehem. Check him out. Black and Brutal Death, I guess is what you would call him. Great vocalist, great dude, great band, awesome drummer. Whore of Bethlehem. But he was there, and he had a band, Carnal Befoulment, which was awesome, awesome band. I dug them a lot. And yeah, Barnyard Brutality, there's just, everyone's drunk and just, it's chaos. So we all, wake up in that classic, just your vision kind of comes back in the morning. The pain in your head gets stronger. You're fucking dehydrated. I was just so hungover. It was insane. We all were. So it's like the crack of dawn, and you just see like zombie death metal dudes kind of coming out of the shadows and shit one by one. We're all like, oh, hey, James, what's up? We're just kind of walking, talking about how much our head hurts and how tired we are and how hungry we are and all that dumb shit, being pussies. And then we see a piñata from the previous night. So the Brutal Band's merch booth had basically Scott packed this piñata full of INCINERATE, Insidious Discrepancy CDs, shirts, Despondency merch, all the coolest shit. And everyone got so wasted, we forgot about it. And it's just sitting in the mud. And we didn't even know that he did this. So we're just drunk, hungover, piñata in the mud. I don't remember who it was. Maybe James can tell you. But somebody kicks the piñata and it just smashes open and all the guts fall onto the ground. And we all go wide-eyed, fuck! Just jump onto it. And it was just such a fucking hilarious moment of I hate life to oh my god, fucking Christmas time, death metal Christmas. So that was a good time, man. That was an honorable mention memory for sure. James Vandenberg, you're the fucking shit, dude. So yeah, also we had played. I had mentioned we played the Central Illinois Metal Fest, which was so fucking sick. Especially at the time, 2009. I hadn't played too many big fests like that, so it was a big experience. And Blasphemer, like I said, Human Filleted, I met Kyle that night. Levidity, I met Vaughn and all those guys that night. Man, it was awesome. So, yeah, Vital Remains actually headlined that night, so I'll go there. I want to mention Kyle, though. Kyle Chrisman, I think is how you say his last name. Kyle Filleted is what he's known on Facebook. Awesome dude. So I meet him that night. We hit it off. Down the road, I'm with Vital. I play a fest in Chicago, and someone yells, "Cancer whore," during the set. And that doesn't happen too often, so I remember it caught my ear oh shit. So after the show, I see him. He's like, "Hey, dude, Kyle, blah, 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 Cancer whore." I'm like, "Oh," and I'm putting it all together. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, dude, Good to see you. We hang out all night. Yep, continue the friendship. Down the road, like not long after that, he gets the gig playing drums for Gorgasm, which is a hard gig. And I didn't even know he played drums. I thought he just played guitar. So, man, I was so stoked for him. But like, one thing I wanted to mention is like, man, like trolls and just haters, especially for drum videos, are so bad. He's such a cool guy and such a good drummer. And I remember watching a sick drummer video, I want to say, from Central Illinois. I think it was that show. Maybe it could have been a different one. But anyway, it's like he's playing Gorgasm stuff. He's killing it. And it's just like everyone's just talking shit about, because he's not going like, wah, 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 wah. Like he kind of has like a stiff arm when he blasts, but he's still like, wah, wah, wah. Like he's hitting everything just fine. But people talking shit. And I remember just thinking that, like, man, that sucks. And then down the road, I see him playing some like European Fest, and he's got double strokes on the feet. And this is like way before I could do it, way before most people could do it. And he is flying on these songs, and I thought it was so badass. I was so proud of him. And I'm reading the comments, and people are just talking shit because he's not doing all these tom fills or whatever for songs that are already written with no tom fills. So it's like, no matter what, people just want to talk shit. And it's really annoying. But Kyle, also, bad motherfucker. Check out his shit, Human Filleted. He no longer drums for Gorgasm, but he did a couple albums at least and just destroyed. So, Kyle, you're the fucking man. People want to talk shit. Yeah, we'll fucking deal with those motherfuckers. So, yeah, I remember Isaac at Central Illinois talking about, hey, man, I'm going to play for Guttural Secrete. I guess he had talked to Blue about it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Whoa. Talk to these guys about, which they ended up finding out by the end of the night that was a bad call. So yeah, Brian from Syphilic, he also sang for Gut Rot and Mutilated out of Detroit. Awesome dude. Kind of known for being like wasted at fests. Like there's endless, puke. Hey, there's Brian laying in puke. He's just a wild man, but everybody loves him. He comes and he's like to our merch booth and he's like, yo, dude, you bass player. Like, punching shit, screaming at everybody, stormed off. And it's like, we're all looking at each other like, if Brian is coming to us saying, yo, your fucking guy is out of control, that really says something. It sure as fuck says something to us. So the whole time, we have like 4 hours till we're about to play and we're going, is this motherfucker going to even show up? And it got all the way up to us getting on stage before he did show up. Shows up, hands bloody, knuckles all busted. Did a good job, I guess, but just more drama, And that's what I remember about that show is like, time to play, and we're just like, we're going to do this without a bass player, which we could have. And every gig, it was like, is this going to be the last show? They didn't want to just like leave them, and I didn't either. Like, that's what was so hard. Like, we do beat his ass and leave him in a fucking town. Like, then what? But shoot, that was so wild. We did pretty good job. I guess it looks cool, all bloody and shit. But man, he stressed us out that day for sure. So okay, during that show, so Vital Remains headlined. A few months prior, Vital Remains played my hometown in Shreveport, and I opened up for them with a local band, Expletive, who pretty much inspired me 100% to play death metal drums. Their drummer, Anthony Tamaccio at the time, fucking sick. He's also a comedian. He's hilarious. So inspiring to me at the time. I was like 17 when they started, at least when I caught wind of them and stuff. But I used to film his drum cams, and then like I would day after day after day just smoke weed and watch his drum cams every day. So I knew like every accent of their songs. If you see footage of Expletive back in the day, you just see me going bum, 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 just hitting every accent. So they have this show with Vital Remains, and Anthony's appendix ruptures. He almost dies. So I have like a week, I think, maybe 2. They asked me if I want to do it, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. But unfortunately, that was my chance to see Psychroptic. I was supposed to see Psychroptic in Dallas, and I had to make a choice like Cryptic, Vital Remains, went with Vital. Still have never seen Dave play Dave Haley. So I've never seen Psychroptic. It's one of the couple bands that I've never seen that I really want to. So anyway, they come to Shreveport. I meet them all. Keish is a young drummer. He's like 19, Destroyer, playing for Vital at the time. And yeah, cool guy. So when I see they're on CIM, I'm like, oh shit, I get to hang out with Keish. And when we get there, there's no Keish. So I guess he had just left the band. And they had Tim Young on drums, which was pretty exciting. But yeah, all of a sudden I got that bolt in my head. Like, oh shit, they need a drummer. Oh, fuck. And so they, like, that's pretty much that. Throughout the tour, we ended up playing Kansas City. And Chris Wilson from Troglodyte, whatever band he was with at the time, he plays. And he's real good friends with James King. Unmerciful had toured with Vital. I saw that tour too. And he's basically saying, yeah, James King's about to play for Vital. I'm like, oh shit, that's fucking cool. And he's telling her, he's like, yeah, James King, man, when it comes to like learning some shit real fast, he's the fucking guy. And I'm kind of in my head like, I'm that fucking guy too. But, you know, it's just like a thought. I'm pretty stoked. I wish that would have happened. That would have been fucking cool, honestly. But then I wouldn't have got the gig, so maybe it wouldn't have been that cool. So yeah, I'm thinking James King. And then when we wrap up the tour, I'm back home in St. Paul. I'm pumping up the video from that Denver show where the fight happened. And I'm just putting it on everybody's page on MySpace. And Scott Wiley, the singer for Vital Remains, reaches out and says, hey man, you should try out. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, you know, maybe. Sure, I'll think about it. It's pretty much how I left it. And I told the dudes, Scott and Jesse, they asked me about it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just letting you know they asked me. I don't think I'm going to do it. I was content with Incinerate. I just didn't know. So I remember I was hanging out with my buddy Elliot, I want to say his name was. He sang for a band, Gut Stomp, out of Minnesota. It's been so long ago. I'm pretty sure that's right. And he was with me when he was the first person I told. I was like, yeah, I might play for Vital. I don't know, or try out at least. So I remember that just kind of being in the air, you know? And it pretty much wraps up, and I go home. Yeah, man, I get home, and that's kind of where I'm at. I get through the tour. Me and Isaac don't fight to the death. It's just kind of man, I finally made it home. I remember even like, because I didn't have a car or a phone, I had been out of reach with my family for a month. Let's see, what did I do? Flew into Dallas, took a bus from Dallas to Shreveport, and then walked home, had no money. It started raining. I remember I was like, I don't know how to fucking get home. So I just went to a taxi driver, and I'm like, hey, how do you get that to that McDonald's on Kings? And he's like, boom, boom. Tight, thank you. And I start walking in the rain. I had like a pillow and a bag, and it's just like, fucking getting rained on. Eventually there was like a parking lot, covered parking lot. I kind of chilled there. But anyway, so I get home, and it doesn't take long for me to realize all my shit's missing. So I was living in that house. It was like my dad and his country band and my grandma and, you know, some family members and stuff. There's like 7 people living there. It's a massive house. And one of my family members was getting bad on drugs when I left. So it wasn't a complete shock, but it got worse the month I was gone. So I come back and I open my jam room and all my shit's gone. Besides my drums, but my guitarist's guitar, my bass player's guitar cab, my dad's bass player's bass gear, our PA. It was just like a whole wall of shit gone. And then I go in my room, my TV's gone, my laptop's gone, my DVD burner's gone. Anything that costs money is gone. I'm fuming, okay? So I'm already like, been trying not to fight Isaac. Now I'm back home. I just walked like 5 miles in the rain, and now all my shit's missing. And I got this skinny ass motherfucker living in my house. You know, we all know what happened, and I'm trying not to beat his fucking ass in front of my dying grandma. So it's like, shit's just wild. But I do have my drums, and I do have a decent foundation of friends who helped me out. They knew what I was going through. I got like a little TV, little DVD player, some shit to fucking get me by or whatever. So I walk to work, you know, and I come back, and my room's kicked in. The door's busted, my drums are gone, my new TV's gone. Everything else is gone. So now I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I am furious. And this wasn't the family member, this was an acquaintance of the family member. And they're gone, long gone. So there's nothing I can do about it. I can't beat their ass. I'm walking around the neighborhood looking for a fight. I'm fucking just like zoned out, fuming. And I don't know what to do. I'm just so fucking pissed. For days. For days, I'm in a daze. Just like, what? And then Scott hits me up again. Yo, dude. You know, I explain that I got robbed. I have no drums. He explains, oh, well, we have a drum set. We just need somebody to relocate. So there's been a few times in life, and this was a big one, where like I'm at the ultimate low, and all of a sudden I'm presented with something like that. Join my favorite band, move away from all this stress. You know, they have their own drums. On paper, sounds fucking awesome. How can I say no? But I got to prove that I can play this stuff, and it ain't easy. So I got my boss, or I asked him, whatever, Bear, so thank you for this. He gets as much as he can out of the pawn shop, to my friends at least, and I work it off for a whole month. So I'm living at the bar, I'm not living at the house. For a whole month I'm working trying to pay off what he spotted me for this shit. So then Tony gives me a call around that time again. He had been trying to reach me, and I'm like unreachable. I have like no cell phone. I'm broke as fuck. I have like nothing. So he calls the bar, and like I never answer the bar phone. I pick it up, fucking Tony Lazaro. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, what's up? Kind of touch base, and that's when I'm kind of like, all right, I'm about to fucking do this shit, but I need to borrow drums. Travis's camera had messed up. He has to borrow a camera. We have to like go to his school to upload it, because you have to have like a really good computer at the time to upload YouTube videos, or it would be like it wouldn't match up right. So I remember we went through a lot. It was a big headache to make that video, and but we made it happen. Sent it, they dug it, and got the plane ticket to go jam with them and stuff. So that's kind of where my mindset was. You know, I'm flying. I'm about to leave home, join Vital Remains full time, my favorite band, and just went through a whole month of shit. And now my dying grandma is like stuck in. It's like there's nothing I can do about it. I just had to walk away. I mean, I had to walk away. And I remember Vital Remains too. Like I want to say 2002. My math could be wrong, but I know I was 17. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, visiting my brother. And Jeff Gardella from Cancer Horror sends me an email like, dude, Vital Remains, dechristianized, makes Origin look like a bitch. Which is a strong statement. But to us, Origin is God. Triple I, Informus, 100% is the reason I play drums the way I do. And it is definitely the top. Dechristianized, man, it's right up there though. I mean, those are my albums for sure. So I go from a teenager discovering my favorite band. So that's 2002. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 years later, they're asking me to play, you know? So it was interesting. And that was the mindset I was in at the time. To leave home, move to New England. And also, I remember I didn't know where New England was. I thought they were from New York or something. I didn't really know. So I Google New England, and it pops up. And right beside it, Nova Scotia, which is where my mom and her whole family lives. I'm half Canadian. I had never met my grandpa or my grandma or my uncles or my aunts and a whole family right next door, pretty much. And so that was the big, like, nail in the coffin or whatever, in a good way, where I'm like, okay, I'm fucking doing this. yeah, I ended up visiting my family over in Canada. And honestly, many adventures, good and bad, happened following that moment. So I was in Rhode Island for a year and a half, and it did not end well. Started well, did not end well. And you're going to hear all about it. But for now, that's that. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Next week, you're going to hear about my adventures with I Wrestled a Bear Once. I'm going to go there. I'm going to talk about my adventure before that, another Central Illinois experience. It was the year before that, before the INCINERATE. So, CIM 08, I was with Paul from Cerebral Bore. I had helped book their little southern leg of the tour. So we all rode together from like Texas to my house to Illinois. Wild batch of dudes right there. And yeah, that shit was wild. Come back home, learn I wrestled a bear once in 4 days, meet them all for the first time. Never heard this stuff before, just pieces of it, because I wasn't a big fan of clean singing. And I was like, brutal death metal, dude. So, boom, learn your stuff in 4 days, hit the road for a month and a half. It'll be a 2-part episode. Some good stuff in there. Check it out. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Become part of the Machete Mafia, because I need your help, man. I just started this YouTube channel. I need more subscribers, goddammit. I need you to do it. I need you to share it. I need you to fucking comment. I can't do it all, dude. I'm glad you like it. Show me you like it. I need some help, motherfuckers. Give me some help. I love you. Machete Eddy, The Hired Gun. Episode 2 is a wrap. Next week, episode 3, How I Joined I Wrestled a Bear Once. How the fuck did that happen? You're going to find out. See you guys later. And if you don't, you know what? I'll chop your goddamn head off. So don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. I will fucking kill you. See you next week.